So I've been getting a couple of people showing up and really recommending that I give the other endings a try, that I'm missing out by not continuing. So let's go again. Let's see if we can get another ending and see what is hiding interesting here. So I'm guessing that we don't load the game. No, we go back and we go new game. Actually, first we go to settings and we skip scene. Oh, it's right there. We skip the scene. Everything that we've seen before. And we this music is good. I like this. Filter management. Should we have a big font? No, I think I tried big font, but I didn't like it. Well, the filter management, I don't think I need to do that. So if I get this straight, we want to press new game. It should skip. We have seen this though. What was this? No, that's load. Settings. Skip. Scene. Let's save. We have seen this. It's all forgotten in the morning as usual. Yeah, of course. Ah, here we go. Oh fuck! I don't remember what I picked here. Let's say yes. I'll come with you. Ah, there we go. That's the skip. We go through whole entrance. We go through. We end up in the bus. Can I see what she asked? Hi. Ah, right, there we go. You must have just arrived. Let's reply. Yeah. I did answer her. And I'm skipping all of this. I'm after him. Here we go. First thing I did differently. I decided that I had no wish to come across that aggressive Alisa girl again and darted after Electronic. So he called her like a mean nickname and she got pissed. Running to the square, I lost sight of him. But Dvajeskaya wasn't chasing me either. However, I really should not risk calling her that, even in my mind. After catching my breath, I wondered why I had reacted like that. Alright, she's a girl, an aggressive one, but why run away? Failing to find a good answer, I sat down on a bench and I stared at the monument to Genda. Looks like I'll have to kill time alone waiting for dinner. I decided to go east. At least in the direction where east would be in my world. Soon after, I found myself near the football pitch. I've seen this before, yeah. So I thought. Last time I think I tried to attempt, so let's not. See, I don't have it. And indeed, Uliana's plate was empty. It seemed that this little girl eats as fast as she steals someone's cutlets. Take it easy, we'll work something out now. She grabbed my plate and ran off. There was no point in following her. If she wanted to poison me, if they wanted to poison me here, they could have done it in a much easier way. About a minute later, oh no, we've seen this before. Let's leave the keys. We took the keys the last time, so on the other hand, why would I need them? The night, though dark, wasn't silent at all. One could hear chirping crickets, the songs of the night birds, and rustling trees from everywhere. What was it? Gone with the Wind. Let's raise the book, I guess. A good book. Thanks. Honestly speaking, I haven't read it, but I think such literature suits her pretty well. Lena didn't seem to be interested in continuing the conversation. Well, if I'm bothering you, no, she answered while still looking at the book. Can I sit beside you for a while? Why? We've seen this before. I started to go there, like. This is interesting. Did I do everything? Does the order matter? Actually, this seems like I can. This I don't need. This I don't need. Actually, let me do a Google here. Everlasting Summer Choices Guide. Right, what's this? Oh, wait, what? Is that the only choices? I don't want to read all this. Day 2. Here we go. Task list. Yeah, it's like all of these you do, right? No? You had dinner with Liana, right? Canteen will disappear after the second choice. Oh, so we can go to Liana. But where's the canteen? Can't pick the canteen, can I? Ah, there we go. Kitchen dining hall. Canteen will disappear after the second choice. So I can skip this because I don't want to do Liana. Well, that doesn't sound too good. I mean, I don't want to go that ending. I like this. I like this playthrough. So, took the keys. I really like this. I really like this guide. It's very helpful. So, go get the cards. All right, so we don't need to go here. We can go wherever. Library, infirmary, music club, or clubs. But there are more stuff though. No? No. So let's go. Well, none of these really help me. I don't remember where we got the cards, so let's just go to the library. And we've seen all this. Oh, nothing happened. Go to the music club. Seen all. No? We've not seen all this. The music club, a small one-level building, was located some distance from the other camp buildings. Oh, I had seen that. And now the kitchen is gone. Go to the infirmary. What's the point of visiting? Alright, we go here. And we meet these guys. Alright, now. Here we go. I want to go with Slavia because I kind of want to look into either Slavia or her. Now let's go Lena, the Lena route. Because, well, you know, the reading, I like reading, she likes reading, makes a lot of sense. But let's get the cards with Slavia. That's the same we did before. So bet with Elisa. No. Oh yeah, she gets pissed by that. It's happy by if we... Alright. So I don't want to bet with you. And the tutorial doesn't... wait. Lose against Lena? +1. Oh, so the point is... Oh, if I lose, I get to play badminton. I did win the last time. Let's skip the tutorial. Nodded in approval. Oh, I can skip this. Nice. I can lose against Lena. That's what I wanted to do. But this is new. It's still frustrating to lose anyway. Left the canteen. It was still too early to sleep, and a short walk looked like a good idea. Where should I head to? Oh, wait, what? Oh, here we go. I did follow Slavia the last time. That was nice. Badminton with Lena, sports field. This is it, right? I wanted to get away. How could I ever lose How could I ever lose in the first round? Oof. There was no excuse for me. The sports ground seems to be the best place to go to be alone for a moment. Who would think about playing soccer in the evening? I sat down on a bench near the pitch, and I started to think about what had happened. Suddenly, from the volleyball field side, I started hearing sounds that seemed to me like sounds of rasping or whistling. Turning, I saw someone desperately swinging his hand. Who is he gesturing to? To my astonishment, it was Lena. She was throwing the shuttlecock up in the air and attempted to strike it with the racket. Racket? Racket, I think. Shuttlecock. Is that the name for badminton? Badminton ball thingy? A shuttlecock. That's so funny. However, to be really, really honest, she sucked at badminton. She was bad at it. Come on. Why would you not do that, Pun? She was bad at badminton. I was just watching for a while, but then I decided to go to her. I actually did play badminton for 2 years in my early teens. I think it was. I was just a kid, you know. But I did quite enjoy badminton. It's quite fun. I went around the volleyball court and got inside so that she could see me. I did play tennis as well. That's quite interesting. I like to have my personal space. So badminton and tennis and golf, sports like that. Golf is considered a sport. It probably is, yeah. Where you get your lots of personal space. That's fun. Bowling, I like bowling. I went around the volleyball court and got inside so that she could see me. Lena was as timid as a deer, so I'd rather not repeat previous mistakes. Hi. She glanced at me and immediately hid the racket. Let's go, racket. And the shuttlecock behind her. You like badminton? Not really, she says. Weird. I see you're not really getting it. Maybe you want some help. To tell the truth, I was not very good at badminton, but just like any other child, I used to play it from time to time. Let me show you. Thank you, she blushed. I want to join the badminton team, but I don't see it happening really. I wouldn't even try today, but she looked up at me. I never have any luck at cards, but it seemed like I was on fire today, so I thought it could be the same with badminton. After these words, I realized that losing to Lena is doubly upsetting. I'm not like him. I don't mind losing. Maybe I did as an 18-year-old, not as a 25-year-old. I don't even think I minded as an 18-year-old. I would never think of you as being so keen on sports. She blushed again. Oh, excuse me. Come on, let me show you. I took the racket, threw the shuttlecock up in the air, and struck it with such strength that it flew over the fence and got lost among the trees. Strength, really the word when you use badminton? And it's like golf, you swing. You get a good swing. It's more technique than strength, I guess. Like it doesn't take a lot of strength to move my hand this fast, you know? A little bit of strength, I guess, but it's more technique, moving fast. Oh, I'm sorry, says Simeon. Wow, I didn't expect that of myself. Never mind, says Lena. Although it was the last one. The last one? Let's go and get it. We'd better not. There is... in the forest. What? What's in there? A goblin? I laughed out loud. Maybe, says Lena. It seemed like I was the only one joking around. There's no one there to be afraid of. Come on. Well, if you're with me. We went out of the sports ground and I started to inspect the trees. All of a sudden, a screech of an owl pierced the night. Lena got so scared that she seized me with both hands, giving me something like a hug. This strong grip was a bit awkward. To feel a girl's body and its warmth so close to me. I was filled with tenderness. Is that what was filled? Tenderness? I had a deep desire to protect her and guard her from anyone, even if it's only an owl or another night bird. My only wish was to let this embrace last forever. However, all good things must come to an end sooner or later. After a while, I realized that it was an owlet who was screeching on a branch next to us. It was holding our shuttlecock tightly. Like you can. Sorry. Is that what you were so scared of? Uh-huh. Take a look. It isn't scary at all. Then I looked out from behind my back. Oh, you're right. It's not scary at all. Hey, wait a second. I gently got out of her hug and came closer to the owlet. At first, it seemed that it got frightened and flew away, dropping the shuttlecock. But the owlet was still perched there. I succeeded in grasping the shuttlecock, grasping the cock, and carefully taking it from the bird. Hey, look, it's almost tame. Would you like to pet it? Maybe some other time? I handed the cock over to Lena. Thank you. She smiled gently. I have to go. Oh, good luck at badminton. Wait, is the lesson over? Lena smiled again and hurried away to the camp. How sweet can a girl get? For the first time today, I finally felt how tired I was. Yep, seen this already. Sorry, I promised Lena, right? Breakfast with Lena. I was sure that Lena wouldn't mind if I sat next to her. Hold on, wait a second. Sorry, maybe later. I gently loosened my sleeve from her grip and headed to the farthest corner of the canteen. Xenia was shouting something in my direction, but I tried to ignore her. Hi, good morning. Having heard the librarian shouting, Lena had been stealing glances at me for a while. Morning. Strangely enough, she didn't blush, but smiled instead. Would you mind if I join you? I'll get my meal and be back in no time. Yeah, sure. In a minute, I was already sitting in front of her with a simple set of plates on a tray. Porridge, poached eggs, pieces of white bread, boiled sausage, and a glass of compote, made of unknown fruits and berries. Have a nice meal. Thanks. I was trying to eat as neatly as I could, no jumping or smearing the food or spilling compote all over myself. Have I done this before? I kind of recognize it. No? It seems that eating like a human, not like a hog, was not that hard at all. As usual, Lena remained silent, which means I should start a conversation. Going to the dance tonight? Probably, Lena says. She was silent for a while. And you? I don't know yet. Though I didn't want to go there at all. I didn't like dance parties since my school days. Why so? What do you mean? My mind was still far away in my school times. Why don't you want to go? I didn't say that I don't want to go. Okay then. But if you're inviting me, Lena turned red and looked away. I don't really... Oh, sorry, I was just kidding. I felt confused. I'd better not joke like that. Fine. Lena said indifferently and focused on her food, while her face turned even more red. Why am I stuck on this dance, as if we have nothing else to talk about? But wait, is there actually anything? By the way, maybe you know what Xenia wanted to ask me, huh? I mean, when I just came in, she wanted something from me. I don't know. I see. The conversation reached a dead end, so I tried to seem fully focused on my meal. Lena finished her breakfast first. I should go. See you later. See ya. I was finished chewing on the sausage, which tasted like a twisted pear cable. I wonder if they have internet access here. I guess not. This I have seen before. Hey again. Lena emerged from the nurse's back. It seemed strange that I hadn't noticed her until now. Come here after dinner. I've explained everything to Lena and she will tell you what to do. Medicine, huh? Supplied today. But Olga told me that no bus would arrive in the next couple of days. Maybe there's not a bus coming with that stuff. So there were visitors to our camp today. Yes, they arrived from the city this morning. Why are you asking? Just curious. Wait, all right then, Pioneer. I think I've seen this. Yeah. Oh, nice. Strange. She seemed more spirited during lunch. No way, there's a lot of boxes. Okay, I'll come. I'm sure. Yes. Go take a look. No, look for answers. Can piss her off, but I don't want to do that. Let's go and help. Wait. No, look for answers. Whoever that is, what's the big deal? I have better things to do. Came back to the leader's cabin. Olga was lying lazily on her bed and reading a book. Oh. Simeon, what are you doing here? That's what I could ask her too. I've forgotten something, so I came back. You were absent at the lineup. Oh yeah, I apologize. All right. Nevertheless, you should do something useful today. Just as I planned. But I have my own vision of what useful means. Like? You could go to the square to help with the cleaning. Slavia's in charge there. Strange. I'd just been there and I hadn't seen anyone. Or you could visit the boys' electronics club. They asked me for a hand. Those fathers of invention again? Finally, you could help at the sports club. What are they up to? They're renewing the pitch, fixing the benches, changing the goal nets, and so on. Honestly, none of those options suited me. Why is she always trying to burden me with work? She's the camp leader. But seriously, except for Slavia, no one ever works here. While some people in particular are enjoying their free time with a useful spirit. That is actually a valid point. Don't see a lot of working. Well, I mean, we're never working, so we don't see other people working. I don't know. Every one of the leaders' attempt to keep me busy seemed to serve only one purpose, to prevent me from finding out my current location. That doesn't make any sense to me at all. Really, all the deep and vital questions concerning my existence are swept away by a broom, together with all the rubbish and litter. In my case, taking some time to work would probably pay off. But just like someone suffering gangrene, I think it's pronounced, and rejecting an amputation, I will stand by my beliefs. Alright. You know, I already had my own arrangements. Nice. Oh really? What kind of arrangements? She bucked up. Well, I can't just tell her what I'm really thinking about. On the other hand, why not? No, it's too dangerous. Ugh. At least now I maintain a fragile balance and nothing is threatening me. Everything seems that way. Just as I thought. What exactly she thought remained a secret. You probably have not realized how important it is to participate in social life. This is the only way to become a pioneer capable of being a role model. Ugh. I mean, this here. I've heard similar stuff in my life. Like how important it is to realize that I'm to participate in social life. But social life in most of my life and his life as well, this guy's life, probably, as far as I remember and understand. Maybe it's just me reading into it. But the social life that I was meant to participate in weren't suited to fit me. It was... I wasn't suited to that kind of social life that was happening. Like, for example, this guy, the main protagonist, Semyon, doesn't seem... Let's just take this as an example. Let's assume he's not interested in electronics and force him to be part of the electronics club just to participate in social life. It doesn't make sense to me. But I guess, like, social life in general, there might be some social life that suits him. I didn't want to sit through another long lecture, so I decided to accept one of the offers. Sometimes the answers in this world can be found in the most unexpected places, or at least so I wanted to believe. So, should I choose for you? The leader's voice turned authoritative. I can do it myself, thank you. I mumbled and left the cabin. So, sports club, Slavia. I'd rather help Slavia, because I'm gonna focus Lena this playthrough, and I might get back and focus Slavia. So, let's go help Slavia. Always choose the lesser of three evils. Right? Slavia wasn't evil at all, so my choice was obvious. Any rational being keeps his house clean. But I usually perceived house cleaning as somewhat akin to gym workouts. Yeah, it's good for you, but not my sort of thing at all. It's not my kind of thing either, but it's more important than gym workouts, I think. However, I like the idea of painting benches. Painting benches more of helping two future genius of Russian or Soviet science, even less. There were about a dozen pioneers in the square. Where did they all come from, I wonder? I approached Slavia. Hi there. Oh, hi, you've come to help? Well, not of my own free will, of course. Thought it over again. I see. Take this broom. Your area is right next to the monument. Frankly speaking, there was nothing to sweep there. It seemed pretty clean to me. Oh, Slavia has been nice, been friendly and helpful. Though some rubbish was still laying around, all right. After sweeping for a while, I came back to Slavia, who was sitting on a bench and taking a break. What a nice day, eh? Yeah, though it's a bit too hot, said Slavia. She shaded her eyes with her hand and looked up at the sky. You're like a tireless worker of communist labor, says Semyon. Oh, come on, I just like to help others, she says. That's good. And what about you? What about me? Well, it seems to me that you find community service a bit of a burden. Well, probably. Why is that? I don't really know. Seriously, she can't expect me to just unload all my ideas concerning this point on her. Why not? She might drown in them, God forbid. Maybe you just don't like the company. That's actually quite possible, says Semyon. There was some truth in Slavia's words. I suppose that she was good at reading other people's minds, or at least at reading my mind. Though, how can that be possible if even I find it hard to understand myself at times? What are you going to do when this session is over? What do you mean? Well, are you going to enter college? Or do you want to master a profession? Oh, this is interesting. Talking about the outside life. They haven't been doing that a lot at all. At all. In the USSR, a person finishing the high school typically had to choose between either getting a college degree, typically achieving a status of engineer or scientist, or going into a secondary vocational school, thus mastering a profession. And it's quite similar how it is in Sweden. We have, this was in the 80s, I think, so maybe right now we're moving a bit forward. It was similar like that in the 80s, I think, but now we have, when you're 16, I think you go to the gymnasium. It's like an upper secondary school. In there, though, you either focus on theory or profession, like you can work with cars or engineering and stuff like that, or you can go into the sciences, different sciences, and do more theoretical studying. Then after that, you might go to university or doing something else. I've already achieved grand mastery of all my professions, watching anime and surfing the internet. That's not professions, though, are they? I don't know yet. What about you? We have a small farm back home, so I want to help my parents there, she says. It sounded pretty strange. Aren't there any private farms in the USSR? Where all the farming has to be collective? But I decided not to go into details. Why does he do it all this time? This is the worst part of this game. I can't suspend my disbelief. Like when he's alone, there's so much thinking about, I'm gonna find all the answers. But as soon as someone starts talking about the outside world, no, I decided not to go into details. Why? Why did he decide that? That doesn't make any sense. And what are your parents doing? Asks Slavia. My parents were not a good subject for discussion. Again, why not? It's not that my parents aren't good, quite the opposite. They're kind-hearted people. But it's not the right time for such a discussion. Why not? Oh, here we go. But the answers anyway. Actually, my father works at the local council, and my mother is a teacher. That wasn't actually true. Why is he lying? More like a half-truth. Cool. She really seemed to consider that a cool thing. I guess so. The conversation had reached a dead end. No, it hadn't. You haven't asked her about her parents. Well, about her farm, you could ask some more about that. So I was trying to take my eyes off Slavia and kept gazing under my feet, up in the sky or just looking around. I'm pretty sure you'll also be fine. Slavia looked at me thoughtfully. Now, what was that for? What was that also about? Thanks? I mumbled. What do you mean? I suppose that you happen to be pessimistic pessimistic at times. Isn't that way too straightforward? Maybe. But you're gonna be alright, she says. Maybe. After this conversation, I felt ill at ease. On the other hand, there was nothing special in her words. In general, almost any person in Slavia's shoes would come to similar conclusions. Nevertheless, I felt, and not for the first time, like she could see right through me. So, let's get to cleaning. Aha! She smiled and took a broom. I never thought that cleaning could bring such deep pleasure. No, I wasn't upset because of this conversation. On the contrary, I was glad to meet something from her. For the first time ever, somebody was discussing my life without criticizing me, without giving any stupid advice based on their own personal experience, without intending to go through my head, and without making some far-reaching conclusions. I was just glad that somebody supported me. No, that's not quite right. I was just glad that Slavia supported me. Yeah, she's super nice. In a short while, the music played around the camp, calling us for lunch. I put away the broom with a sigh of relief and a sense of accomplishment, and went to the canteen. And we go through the canteen. Boom. Let's see. So, run away gets positive with Slavia. That's interesting. Wait. Dance with Lena. Damn it. What did I do? Damn it. I made a boo-boo. Does this mean I'm screwed? Here we go. It's a detail guide about all the endings in the game. These are diagrams for each day as well as for each character. Introduction. The game contains 5 main character stories, routes, and 3 special stories with 14 different endings. Some choices will make you assign a score, either positive or negative, to one of the routes. If you collect at least 6 points for a certain route at die 5, then you can play that route. Each route has a good and a bad ending. You get the good ending if the final score is at least 9, and bad ending if the score is between 6 and 8. So, I kind of want to... Can I just go back? Look for answers. Can I? No. All right. Well, I guess since I stayed in Queen the last time, so let's run away this time. The solution came out of thin air. While Olga was scolding Uliana, I snuck to the exit. Thank goodness it was nearby. You just ran away. Slipping outside, I hesitated for a few moments and ran into Electronic. Looks like he was working till late at the club. Where's the fire? Fire? My shuttle is leaving in 10 minutes. What? Hey, wait. Electronic words hung in the air behind me. I ran off towards the square. It's definitely not the best place to hide. Indeed, in a strange stress or fatigue, I frequently started talking to myself. Well, not really talking, but rather mumbling under my breath. It helps me concentrate and find the right solution quickly. Okay, where to next? Where should I go? The best place would be the one where the least amount of people. Consequently, my way lies in the woods. Half a minute later, I was already relaxing, sitting on a stump near the first trail. That was one hell of a getaway. I hope that that will teach Juliana to behave. Indeed, she's not a child anymore. Well, sad but true, not a child anymore. Now a thought crossed my mind. I might have sort of mishandled the whole situation. A fair share of that broken tableware is because of me, yeah? Moreover, one might mention that I didn't have to engage in that mess in the beginning. It got me thinking. How's the weather? Asked Slavia. Slavia stood right before me. How does she manage to sneak up unnoticed? Thank goodness it's not Olga. Fine. Those were the only words I managed to squeeze out of myself. I thought I'd find you here, she says. Why? I'm not sure, it's just... She looked up at the sky. There are fewer people around here. Does Slavia really think I have some sort of social phobia? On second thoughts, she actually has a good reason to think so. And what are you doing here? Looking for you. She smiled again, but this time her smile looked a bit different. A little friendlier, I guess. Me? Why? Can't you guess? I braced and prepared for a harsh lecture. I understand that you're guilty to a lesser degree than Juliana. Now the camp leader's assistant is defending me. But even more pathetic. Damn, get serious. We're not playing bad cop, good cop here. But if I grant that you aren't going to help her, you can at least help me. Saying that, Slavia looked up at the sky yet again. I wonder what she was looking for out there. And what do I need to do? We have to reorganize the books in the library. It's way better than disciplinary enslavement together with Juliana. And anyway, it was an offer I couldn't refuse. I'm at your service, mademoiselle. Or madam? She laughed. Then follow me, monsieur. Monsieur? Sorry. In a couple of minutes, we were in the library. All the way I kept looking around for fear of meeting Olga. It looks like Slavia didn't notice my anxiety. And still, it's quite odd that she hasn't scolded me. Well, if we are to continue our analogy, Slavia is definitely the good cop. She is indeed. When we went inside, gleaming sunlight streamed through the windows of the library, with a myriad of dust particles dancing in the beams. This is special library dust, with that distinctive smell that you can never confuse with anything else. These microscopic pieces of the moribund collected works of Marxism, Leninism classics. That's interesting. Does the dust near the fiction shelf smell similar to the dust near the books on physics and chemistry? Probably, yeah. You start with those rows. Slavia pointed at a bookshelf near Lenin's sculpted head. Okay, but what exactly do I have to do? Just remove the books from the shelves and put them on the floor. We'll dust them and then we'll put them back. While looking at all this dust, reading is hardly the pioneer's favorite activity. This seems like a pointless activity. Like, you could just take a fluff dust thing, the long piece with all the dust on it, and just move it along the top of the... If you really wanted to dust them, that is what you could do. And, I mean, even if they get dusty, so what? It's just on the top. I don't know. Any idea where Shania might be? I don't know. She's probably went somewhere. Nice. That's very helpful. It appears that there's just two places in the world where one could meet Xenia, the library and the canteen. Really? Is that what you think? I got into gear. I guess I've never handled so many books in at one time my entire life. Anyway, I'm much more used to reading from a computer screen or a tablet. Firstly, there's no need to pay for electronic books, and secondly, you cannot find everything in printed form. How's it going? Asks Slavia, standing behind the bookshelves. It's okay, it's going little by little. Have you read anything about that? About what? Well, about communism. Nah, I'm kinda more into historical books and adventures. Me too. Well, historical literature wasn't exactly my favorite, but the class struggle under socialism was definitely no match for it. Hey, don't hold a grudge against Juliana. I don't. Indeed, that my uh, I felt that my had ego mostly recovered from the incident. His ego had recovered. Besides, I managed to cleanse myself from the lunch leftovers in Forest Lake. It's not like she's doing all of that out of spite. Out of spite or not, one should think through one's own actions. Whatever. I kept moving around dozens of books written by people totally unknown to me. I'm gonna forget who they are in a minute, and I'll never get to know what they were writing about. That is a doom of many writers, to become forsaken set of letters in a hardcover of a bookshelf in the library of a non-existent pioneer camp's reality. Well, I mean, you can go way bleaker than this. There are so many writers right now. Like, there's so many fan fiction. I haven't read fan fiction. I'm actually quite curious. I might get into it, and there's so many people writing books that never ends up in a library. They just, like, if they finish them, if they print them out, they're just in their own little library, their own bookshelves. Then when they die, it just gets thrown out because there's so many books. To be a bit bleaker. Have you finished? Yeah, I think so. Me too, says Slavia. Okay, let's do it in this way. I'll wipe them down and you'll put them back on the shelves. But I don't remember what order they were placed in before. Seriously, Semyon. It's okay, nobody reads them anyway. It looks like she had a smile for every occasion. That was actually quite funny. But it also pointed out how pointless their stuff, the work was. A couple of times I've noticed slight differences, shades of emotions in that smile. Joy, happiness, sadness. But these shades were so evanescent. Don't know that word, really. I wasn't really sure that I'm not imagining things. I think it's similar to vague, probably. This time her smile looked a little flirty. Yeah, probably. At least I wouldn't be reading this stuff. Slavia was wiping the covers down with a damp cloth, and I was putting the books back on the shelf. Put them in alphabetical order, dude. We were a good team. Our job was almost done. Why didn't you take anything from the upper shelves? Asks Slavia. Upper shelves? I looked up. Oh, sorry, I hadn't noticed them. It's all right. Wait a moment. I'll bring the chair. Even with my rather considerable stature, I wouldn't be able to get them down. I stood on the chair and proceeded to remove the books from the shelves and pass them to Slavia. After a while, there was only about a dozen books left at the farthest end of the bookshelf. It looked to me like it wouldn't be hard to reach that far. I had always been the type to take larger bites rather than biting twice. And taking that bite without moving the chair under me, it's gonna fall, isn't it? It became a fatal error. Well, not fatal, but once opening my eyes, I find myself on top of Slavia. Are you alive? I got the fright for my life. Even if I'm only 17 now, falling off a chair onto a girl is something else. I'm fine, says Slavia. Her face was only an inch away from mine. Anything broken? I don't think so. You'd make a rather bad stuntman. She laughed. You bet. I looked into her eyes. Just looked. I wasn't sure what I should say. Slavia either hesitated too, or just let me take the lead. At this rate, something might happen. Her lips were so close to mine. Ooh, a natural desire started to awake in my body. Was it right? I had the urge to stand up, but was unable to do so. Slavia was just lying in silence, looking me straight into the eyes. All of a sudden, I noticed a bell ringing on the edge of my hearing. It's dinner time. Yeah, shall we go? Should we lie here some more? She smiled again. This time her smile seemed foxy to me, as she was hinting at something. Let's go. I didn't move an inch. Well, if we're going to go, you need to get up first. Obviously. It felt like some invisible force was holding me in place. Yeah, since he's a teenager again, it's hormones. Hormones is that invisible force. Slavia seemed to recognize that and carefully slipped out from under me. Are we going to stay there? She said. She laughed. At that point, I finally came to my senses and stood up. I'm sorry. That's okay, but we haven't finished it all. We'll have to clean up the rest later. Yeah, sure. I stayed silent all the way to the canteen. Slavia rambled on about her life in the camp, but given that it was indeed a monologue, I wasn't paying much attention. Wait, what? I would have guessed that his hormonal state would have been like hyper-focused on her right now. Coming to the canteen, I saw Olga on the porch. Actually, this is a good spot to save, I think. So let's save. Yes, I do want to overwrite. And we'll continue this maybe tomorrow, maybe later today, maybe another day. We'll see.